Can you guys, are we back? Can't even tell. Okay, so Chrome crashed, Photoshop crashed. Someone jinxed me. I never have problems with Photoshop. I really don't know if I'm on or not. There's nothing going on in the chat, so there we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Yeah, I think I had too much stuff open or something. But yeah, sorry about that, you guys. If you asked a question and I didn't answer, ask it again because I lost the chat. I think these pages are really big, I think. No, they're not. They're 400 DPI. But yeah, they're 10 by 15. So these are pretty big pages. That's what it was. Why did you choose colorist versus inker or some other job? I don't know if it was about choosing so much as just it's the one that, well, I chose it because to me it made the most sense with my schedule. The you know, coloring is you can get a lot done in a little bit of time, and you know, if it's for me, I don't know, I kind of just like that part of the process a lot, and so I don't know, it just kind of fell into it, and here we are. But yeah, I mean, I've been drawing for a long time. I just and with comics, there, and I've answered this before on here, I think, but I don't like drawing things I don't want to draw. You know, like you have to be able to draw everything to be a comic book artist, and I just for the longest time was not motivated to learn all of that. So so I don't know, just kind of started doing this and really liked that part of the process and stuck with it. I find it hard to believe the new Apple Pencil is going to be worse. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully the title has corrected at this point. Okay, yeah. Looks like it has. Yeah, and the reason I'm kind of jumping around on these, if you just joined, I'm going to be rendering these once the iPad comes in for the most part. Sorry if this isn't a particularly exciting stream. It's a quiet chat tonight. Or everyone left, one or the other. Oh yeah, I would hope. Ralph just mentioned in the chat, colors can be important for storytelling. I hope viewers of this channel, that is not news. I hope not. If I have, I've failed miserably. This project is called Mitch Hammer, and it's kind of a comedy, action adventure kind of book. It's very funny and doesn't take itself too seriously. So, but no, it's Kickstarter, I think. The first two issues were kickstarted, and this is the last one, I believe. Hello, hello. 4 a.m. Where is it 4 a.m.? Also, why are you waking up at 4 a.m.? Ronnie the zombie. I should know better. Hey, James. How's it going? 3 a.m. in Germany. South Africa. Wow. I can't think about where all you guys are from too much. It just still kind of blows my mind that people are sitting on their computers literally halfway around the world watching. No pressure. See, I'm still, and some of you guys probably are too, but I'm still young enough to remember when that sounded insane. It's like, wait, you're going to talk to people all over the world at the same time? And it's going to be video, it's going to be high definition, and it's basically real time? Yeah, that still sounds crazy to me. I fell asleep too early. Yeah, that sucks. Japan. That's awesome. Yeah, see, Ralph's old enough to remember when you had to go to the library and you had to use the card catalog in the Dewey Decimal System. Do they still teach that stuff? Right, yeah, exactly. See, I'm old enough to have, not have anymore, but I had a they called them bag phones back then because it was like, I mean, it was like a box and it had like a handset with a curly cable and it sat in like the console of your car. And like if you saw someone with a cell phone at all, like they were loaded. And then those phones came out. I was like 16 and yeah, I still have the same phone number, by the way. It's probably why I get so I get at least a couple of spam calls a day. Yeah, computers were for NASA. Yeah, when I went through high school, it was like a big deal when we got a computer lab that had computers in it. Like now they're in like every classroom and has 10 of them or whatever. But like in high school, it was just like maybe my senior year, junior year, maybe. It's like all the computers were in one room and you had to go there to use them. That feels like 1,000 years ago. It might as well be in like tech years. The brick phones, the one that I had wouldn't have been super expensive because we couldn't afford super expensive. Uh, but yeah, the ones that came before, probably so. Like my cell phone. I mean, nowadays it's not even a big deal, but like, I still remember when the first cell phone that I bought, which wasn't that long ago, that had more memory than like the first computer I had, and now the phones and tablets are running circles around that. Yeah, National Geographics. We had a. This is the least entertaining stream ever. Sorry. Um, we had a 1969 set of World Book encyclopedias. I mean, and these things were like murder weapons, right? Like they're huge. And I was one of those weirdo kids that would like just read them. Like not, I would literally just read the encyclopedia. Yeah. because that was, I mean, that was our internet. If you were like senior stream today, yeah, this is we're reminiscing about old times here. Um, you had to used to fake part of the uni to access the internet. Um, yeah, I there were two World Book encyclopedias that I wore out. Like they were literally falling apart. I think I have one of them still, but they were broken down in alphabetically. So like there was an A and a B and a C and a D, and each volume was a letter. And I think there was the S, which was for space, all the space stuff. This was actually like around the time that Apollo wouldn't, the Apollo that landed on the moon, 11, 12, 13, whichever one it was. Um, I don't remember which one landed on the moon now, but like I vividly remember the illustration of like here's Earth and there was an arc that went up and here's the moon and you had the lander and the orbiter and all the like I just wore that thing out. Like it's the coolest thing in the world to me. And that was actually the year they landed. So that book wouldn't have been able to be made by then. But they had the plan together already. And then the D one for dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were my jam. So which reminds me I still have to finish this dinosaur pinup that I started a while back. But yeah. But yeah, I was one of those nerdy kids that just read them. Yeah, 11. I was close. I wonder if this thing crashed because it's the... Is this the new Photoshop? No, I actually reopened. Here's a pro tip for you. If you have Photoshop CC, there's an option to keep the old version. And you should always do that, in my opinion. Just in case stuff like this happens and it's like, okay, you can default back to last year's. It's still Photoshop CC, but it's like version 19 instead of 20 or whatever. So anyway. Maybe there's something going on with that version. Some kink they haven't worked out yet. But yeah, this book is like very vivid and over the top pretty much everywhere. How old am I? I just turned 39 last week. No, this is still, someone asked if this is new for Adobe, but no, this is Magic Picker still. It's an extension for Photoshop. I don't even know if they have anything. Is it new in the new one? Let's see. Nope. It's still just a box. Orange, what is all this? Let's see. I really haven't looked at any of this stuff. What is... No. 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 Still no. Yeah. Not using that. But yeah, I just had 39 last week. Is it called something? Oh, this is the old version of Photoshop. I will, yeah, remind me when I'm done with these, setting up these pages, and we'll look at the new Photoshop color wheel. I don't want to open it while this one's running, and I don't know. It might work, but it might not. Oh, thank you. Carlos, what language is that? Hopefully it means something nice. Portuguese. Portuguese, cool. I don't know. I know obrigado, and it's de nada is it it's you're welcome in Spanish and Portuguese, right? I think. I don't know that. I'm terrible with foreign languages. All right. I am going to Google Translate. Let's see here. Dude, I like your colorization so much. Awesome. And see, this is what I do on YouTube comments. I go, thank you very much. And then I copy this. Yeah, I answer a pretty big number of comments in other languages all the time. Cracks me up that that's even an option. Again, technology is awesome. I have no idea what I'm actually saying most of the time, so I'm really trusting that that these translation services aren't telling me something incorrect. Multi-language support. I should like offer that as a service. Ask your question in whatever language you speak, and I will have like trust Google Translate doesn't screw it up. Yeah, well, I figured, Michelle, you were translating earlier, so I figured you were from some Portuguese-speaking country like Brazil. A friend once used Google Translator and wanted to say, "Hello, I like your work" in Korean, but accidentally asked for the streamer's underwear. I haven't done that yet, I don't think. Who knows? Probably. There's maybe so. Let's see. No, I didn't. I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see a option for that. I'm looking at the comments on. All right, I think I just show this to you guys. All right, so this is I don't know. It's one of my videos from YouTube. And look at this. Please take off your bag. And I'm like, what in the hell is he talking about? This was one of the videos where I was still in a sling, you dick. It's not a bag. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay, I can translate in real time. So, Carlos asks, do I use a PC, Cintiq, or a Mac? Right now I'm using a PC. I work on my desktop is a powerful PC that I built, and I usually set up my pages with Photoshop with it because I've got so many actions and keyboard shortcuts and things that make this faster, and so I use that most of the time. And thank you for whoever, let's see, Khalid. I don't know. Is it Khalid? Thank you for that tip on I can translate the chat in real time, which is awesome. So yeah, that's a PC, but my main like rendering device is an iPad. And I use an app called Procreate for that. This is awesome about this. So, but I don't know if he can. I guess should I answer back in a different language? Or try to? Is that an option? I don't see that option. Yeah, the answer is both. PC and Mac, both, yeah. I do know that it seems like a lot of people will understand spoken English sometimes, but not be able to speak it. And I know that's a thing, so I don't know. That needs to be explained further. Oh, now it's translating in real time. Okay, without me having to even click anything. Alrighty, let's get rid of this one. I've only got one more page to set up for today. This is a scene change also. I don't know, now this thing is not working very well, the translate to English option. Yeah, he's got it. This book is so weird. I love it. So like this thing is a science experiment gone wrong, and now it's accepting some sort of Nobel Prize or something. Okay, cool. Michelle's got my back. Thank you. The question is, do you usually set up multiple pages at once, or are they simply the same scene? It depends. I mean, I usually try to, if it's all one scene, then I usually try to work on them together. And at least for the first part of just setting up pages and that kind of thing, it just it makes it easier to keep the colors more consistent. Um, but not every time. I mean, sometimes I'll just um, do what I'm doing here, which is just keep on going. This is actually the last page that I have from this right now. So let's see. So I don't want to use the same color scheme again for this scene. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do we just go grayish, maybe? Maybe that. Just obviously different from where we were. Yeah, I had no idea that this would like real time translate even new posts that are coming in. That's kind of cool. I wish I could real time translate me. What I'm saying. Actually, I think my phone does that. The new Pixel has the if you use the official I don't have the earbuds for it, but I think if you have the earbuds, it'll actually you can speak to it in English or whatever, and it'll translate in real time into whatever you're doing it. No, we all have to start somewhere, Ronnie. Actually, this is I've got a thing on my calendar, and this is actually the sixth. Actually, this week is the 6-year anniversary of my first published work. So yeah, I've been at this for 6 years. I have a head start. It translated everything in that sentence except for HQ. I'm studying coloring so I can color my HQ. I don't know what that is. Oh, and sound. What kind of you do anything with the sound degree? I used to way back in the day, like late 90s, early 2000s. I wonder if I can find that picture. Or one of the pictures. But I used to do the whole, like... Okay, gotcha. I used to do the little coffee shop singer-songwriter thing way back in the day. Melted Chi, thank you, I think. Oh, I'm going to show you guys this stuff. So I'm actually... This is getting lettered right now, but I, just for fun, there was a guy posted a, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I talked about this on the channel a while back, but there was this guy on Reddit that had posted a picture of Spider-Man, like a cover, just for fun. And I thought it was awesome. I asked him if he would mind if I colored it. He said, no, it's fine. So we did it, and then a few weeks, like, it really kind of blew up in the comic books section of Reddit, and it got pretty popular. And I asked him if he wanted to do like a little 3-pager just for fun. And so it was the first script I ever wrote. Very original. Spider-Man stopping a bad guy with from a purse snatcher. And then Human Torch shows up after waiting all day for the hot dog. He still doesn't get to eat it. But it's just 3 pages. It's very short, just kind of a gag thing. And but this guy's amazing. I think he's a great artist, and he'll be somebody to watch. But anyway, I'll probably do a video on these or something soon. But it's not official or anything. I literally wrote the whole thing and colored it, and just as fans we did it just for fun. So, but I liked how it turned out. And the artist's name is John Grosjean. I will type this in the chat so you guys can look him up. He's on I think he's on Instagram and Twitter, and if you want to look him up there. I'm pretty sure he's kind of a up-and-comer. I don't know if he's I think he's been published before, maybe a few times, or he's working on some stuff now, I think. But I really liked his stuff. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've done recently that I can show. I don't think so. But yeah, so I don't know. This is kind of a short stream today. I just wanted to get some of that done and maybe hang out with you guys. Do you guys have questions? You want to talk coloring? You want to talk comics? You guys have been nice enough to come by, so I don't mind hanging around a little while. Yeah, his line work is very crispy. Uh, whoops. Let's put some white under this. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I really like his style. I think it's drawn on paper but inked digitally. I think. Yep. Would I consider another career path after this? I don't know. I would love to be able to just teach full time. It would be awesome for me. I enjoy that more than anything. Um, so whether that's the YouTube channel or courses or whatever that ends up being, I think that would be cool. But I want to stay. I want to keep coloring. I like coloring. But eventually, one day, I have ideas for stories that I'm not like a writer. It doesn't come easily to me. Like art, like visual art has always. I mean, I'm not the greatest artist in the world or anything. I'm not like, I'm probably mediocre at best. But visual art has always been. It's felt very simple to me, and I realize there's a lot of rules and things, especially with sequential comics. But writing is not easy for me. So, but that's what I want to do. Eventually, it'll probably be like a little side project, and it won't be, I don't think I'll ever make a living off of it. But I would love to kickstart my own book one day. That I've written, drawn, colored, hired someone to letter. That's a whole other science. But I'd like to do that sometime. But that'll just be, a project at some point. I plan on coloring and teaching coloring and art as long as people keep watching. So if you missed the last YouTube video, I do want to start some drawing tutorials. It's been asked for a lot. It's probably the most asked question other than what brush are you using? But I get asked pretty frequently, do you do any penciling tutorials? Do you any inking tutorials? This kind of stuff. And I'm, I wouldn't, I don't know, if, expert's a strong word. I don't feel like as much of an expert in those areas, obviously, because I haven't done them as much, and I haven't done them professionally much. But yeah, I wanna get into some drawing tutorials because, and this is a rehash if you watch that video, but I realized doing that last rendering the light and shadow course that I just put out 2 weeks ago, is that so much of, I think, what makes me a better colorist has more to do with understanding drawing and understanding forms and shapes and I mean, a lot of this comes down to, being able to look at something in 2D but see it in 3D. And it's not a intuitive thing for everybody. And I really didn't realize that until not that long ago, I think. And so I want to start introducing some of that kind of stuff just to, because it'll make you a better colorist. It'll make you a better artist all the way around. And so, and it'll just be basic stuff to start off with, I never went to art school or anything, and that's actually been one of the challenges of plotting out these drawing courses, is because with coloring it was different, because over a relatively short amount of time, I figured out how to do it, and over several years, figured out lots of different ways to do it. But with art, like, I really don't remember starting to learn to draw. Like, it's like drawing has been something I've been doing as far back as my memories go. And I was 2 or 3. My mom said when I started, like very very young, and so it's been a challenge to break that down into where do you start? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you just have to pick a spot somewhere. For me, it was figures and people. I think just like most people, and if you start drawing, and the first thing you want to do is draw a person or a superhero or your mom or whatever it is, you know. So I think early on, I'm just going to focus on. I think, don't hold me to this, but right now I'll probably start with like basic anatomy and you know, all there's a lot of different rules and guides and things like that even for drawing faces, it's like looking at my face straight on. Your eyes are exactly halfway between the top of your head and your chin, and your nose is about halfway between your eyes and your chin, and then the bottom lip is about halfway between there and there, and your eyes are about one eye space apart, and your head's 5 eyes wide, and you know, there's all these little things like that that are hugely helpful, um, and and so I'm trying to figure out where to begin, and but once I want to get it all laid out, and then hopefully over the next sometime early next year, I'm hoping to start working on those, and I'll have some courses too that are more detailed, but I do want to do a lot of this on YouTube also. Carlos, let's see, he's asking how much time I've worked as a colorist, and it's 6 years. Or 6 años, is that right? I know the, well, I'm better with Spanish pronunciations of this stuff. I know it's similar in some cases. Sorry if I butcher your language. But yeah, it'll be something that will. I mean, I was just kind of making a list of all the different tutorials I could do, and it very quickly grew to be a pretty massive thing. So so yeah, it'll be cool. I think it'll be awesome. I want to do as much as I don't care for the program. So many people want clips tutorials. I don't know if I'm going to do them on YouTube yet. I might just do it as a separate thing, whether it's another course or whatever. But so many people are asking for it. And so I don't know. I might do something with that. I have more ideas than time, so there's no shortage of tutorials coming to you guys over the next couple of months, years, whatever. But coloring is so up and down. Like it's amazing how, you know, you're busy with 3 or 4 books one month, and then a couple months later you're down to one and or two or whatever. So it's all over the place. I say I've been doing this for 6 years, but I mean it's been up and down the whole time. There's been good and bad and everything in between. So what is your favorite own style art piece you would have made? Recently, let's see. So I've got a folder with a bunch of different drawings in it. I'm just going to drop some of these in here, and you guys can. This isn't what I was looking for, but like that's me. I tend to work more cartoony than anything else. That's me. Very different style. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of paintings I've done lately. But yeah, I don't really have like a I don't think I don't have a strong sense of style. I'm constantly playing around with, you know, I mean, this was me trying to do like, a Magic the Gathering card or something, and I don't know, and there's parts of this is even old enough that there's parts of it I'm not crazy about. Um, but this was after watching some Marco Bucci tutorials on brushwork, and I was trying to see how insane I could make something, basically. And then this I actually did at a convention. Like, I was at Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida, and I had my iPad with me, and it was it was one of those slow times, like a Sunday afternoon or something, and so I put this together over, it didn't take long, like an hour and a half or something. Yeah, this was such a weird, such a weird thing. Like, I was literally watching a football game, and it just sketched this thing out, and before long, it was like, okay, let me just paint this whole thing. Yeah, if you guys aren't watching Marco Bucci, then you should check him out. Yeah, Venom is. I've always liked Venom. He's been one of my favorite characters, but I just saw the movie finally. I was very late in seeing the movie. We saw it Sunday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. Oh yeah, I am. I'm definitely doing the tutorials. Like I said, I've just got to figure out. Um, I want to figure out how I want to put them together and kind of really plan it out. Um, because when I started the YouTube channel, I was not thinking in terms of like a business model at all, and you really kind of have to if you're going to be successful at it. And uh, he's mostly painting. I think he recently did some 3D stuff on his channel, but for the most part, it's almost all 2D digital painting. But his videos on color are amazing. Like, I've learned so much from that guy. I'll type his name in the chat so you guys can look him up. That's the cool thing about color, is it doesn't matter if you're comics or painter or whatever. Like, it's all the same stuff. So I think he used to, let me see if I can find. If I'm not mistaken, I think he used to work for Disney or Pixar or somebody, but like, this is his original character, I think. But his brush style is so good. Like, he does, this is his newest video. He did like a time lapse on this, and I wish that I could work the way he does, where he doesn't really draw things in very often. A lot of times he just goes straight to paint, and but yeah, his like it's very it was very organic, and he definitely only focuses detail in the places that it matters, And if you get close to some of this stuff, it's totally abstract almost. It's like this background is just a bunch of blotches and things, but very carefully selected, blotches of color and things. But it looks like there's more detail than there is. But yeah, he's got some. This is so cool. Yeah, he's got some awesome stuff. Yeah, it's actually interesting. There's another YouTuber I follow, Boradante, and he's doing some stuff in Blender. So, I don't know. To me, I would, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't have any problem with it whatsoever. But for me, it would be a completely different thing to need to learn, and I just don't have time. I don't have time to jump into that. But yeah, he has some awesome stuff. So now that you've seen his stuff, you can see how I was influenced. I had bought some of his tutorials and was watching him on a plane and put this together on a flight. This was actually, and I did a video on this, some of you guys may have seen it, but this was a Dungeons and Dragons character from, it's Teenie Howard. She wrote, she's read a bunch of stuff, but we worked together on Hack/Slash Resurrection. And she had described this character on Twitter, and it just sounded like such a cool idea, and so I kind of ran with it. This Viking undead woman. Yeah, Marco has a traditional painting background, so he paints on one layer for the most part, you know, and he, which is amazing to me, and I have a ton of respect for him. Yeah, I wish that I would have gotten to 3D earlier. I know it's not too late, but for me, with the amount of time that I have, it is. Like maybe one day when I slow down, I'll start learning some 3D stuff. But I mean, I know enough. I know a little bit, very, very little bit, not enough to do anything cool with it. I tried dabbling one time, and I'm like, this is too many buttons for me. Any other questions? Comments, concerns? It depends on the day. I usually put in. It just depends. I mean, so much of it depends on how many projects I've got, and I probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours a day. Usually at night, just because I'm in the States, so as you guys are well aware, I'm sure, but I have my day job, I guess you could call it, is provides insurance and benefits and different things that I've never been able to give up. So usually I work. It just depends on the day. I get off at around 4 or 5, go to the gym, and if I'm on a bunch of projects, I usually just come right home and get to work. But usually I hang out with the wife a little bit. She goes to bed a lot earlier than I do. She always has. She gets up really early too. So for me, it's I get my best work done from like 8 to midnight. So yeah, like, 7, 8, 9 o'clock to midnight. That's yeah, usually that's how much I'm working. How many pages depends on the project. Something like I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty fast, so usually I'm doing a page every hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. It just depends on the project. I'm gonna look up Portrait Painter PASP. Oh, nice. So he's like super realistic stuff. That's awesome. That's one type of art though that has just, it doesn't interest me at all. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's awesome to be that, have that much patience and have that kind of talent to, either come up with it on your own, or a lot of times they're working from photos or whatever it is. But I'm like, realistic stuff has never been interesting to me. Like, I would much rather see something invented or, you know, fantasy or something that's not real. We got enough reality. And that's not a knock against him. Like I said, he seems to be extremely talented, but for me, just the type of art I like to look at, it's just not really my thing. And I've never had any interest in learning to draw like actual people. Yeah, I'm looking at some of his YouTube stuff. It looks amazing. I mean, it takes a lot of talent. Like, yeah, like I said, I'm not definitely not knocking what he's doing, but probably not the kind of channel I would watch though. Let's see. I feel like I missed a question somewhere. Oh, do you do your own flats? No, never. I pay a flatter. I've actually been with the same flatter for 6 years since the beginning. Yeah, I think like my default that if you tell me like draw a guy, like it's gonna come out more cartoony like this than, you know, realistic or anything. I mean, all this stuff is, you know, it's very exaggerated, and you know, this is probably the most realistic thing that I've done, and it's not that realistic. Like it's definitely stylized, and but yeah. I would love to paint a comic like what is the name of that book? Scurry? I don't know if you guys have seen that Kickstarter for Scurry, Scurry, but he painted the hell out of this book. Like every single panel is painted to this crazy amount of detail, and it's kind of got this. Let's find some pictures. But yeah, it's stuff like this. You know, like it's like the textures are realistic, but it's still obviously like, you know, exaggerated, and but yeah, this guy's stuff is so good. How do I view the image? Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing to blow up bigger, but it's not wanting to work. But yeah, like this guy blows my mind. I would love to just do a whole book painted like that, but man, the time it would take to do it. Some of those things I would chip away at for like 5 years. I really like this piece that he did too. Let's see, let's pull it in here. Like these cats, they just all have completely different personalities. Really cool stuff. Yeah, like it kind of has some like Disney Pixar vibes, but it's a little more realistic. There's more detail than that. So yeah, I like this kind of stuff. Yeah, to me, you know, using 3D to set up images, unless you're really, really good at posing and animation, a lot of that stuff comes across very stiff. I'll put it this way. If they're good at it, it's not. But I see a lot of newer artists, especially in comics, where it's really obvious when they're using like 3D poses, because you know every punch has this like very flat feel to it to me. So to me it's easy to overdo that. So I don't know. There are people that do it really well. All right, 10 more minutes and we'll wrap this up. You guys got any other questions? I'm thinking about getting a new iPad Pro. What do you think about it? Is it possible to work only on it? Only in it? Well, it depends on what you're doing. Like, if you're creating images just for fun or to post online or whatever, then yes. As of now, unless this is supposed to change, I guess, when Photoshop comes to iPad next year, I don't think there are any apps that... I don't want to say any apps. I think Affinity Photo might. But there's so few apps that handle CMYK files that I don't know if it could be my only device. Because no matter what I'm doing, whatever app I'm using on the iPad right now, I've still got to dump it into Photoshop to export CMYK files. But I do think that Affinity Photo will support those. Even Clip, people say Clip supports CMYK. It really doesn't. It doesn't support color profiles the last time that I looked at it. And different publishers will have like different CMYK color profiles they want you to use, and I don't know if it's 100% doable on anything except maybe Affinity Photo. So so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really close, and I'm hoping that once Photoshop, if you haven't heard, they're coming out with an iPad version, and it seemed to be optimized for it. So we'll see. I hope so. Believe me, I would love to get to not have to sit at this desk and do anything in Photoshop. I mean, if I could kick back in my recliner and get all my work done. Which most of it is. It's just that final file prep, there's no way around that. To answer your question about paying artists, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I've never had to do that. I mean, you're going to see rates all over the place. It just depends on, and it just depends. I mean, it depends on what your budget is and how much artists you can get for that will vary greatly depending on what your budget is. So, you know, I know guys that will draw a page for 50 or 75 bucks a page, and I know others that think that's insane and wouldn't dream of working for anything that cheap. So it's you know, it just depends. And I think that's crazy to draw a page for 50 bucks, but yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'm the guy to ask. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that sounds reasonable. I mean, the numbers you're saying, yeah. On the, I mean, let's see, 2,400. I mean, are you talking like art, colors, letters, everything? Or are you just talking about drawing? I do have an Instagram. It's just my name. I don't really use it that much. I'm on Twitter more than anything else. I mean, yeah, 1 to 200 sounds probably on the... I mean, it's probably the low end of normal, I would imagine. Pencils, inks, and colors. Yeah, 2,400 would be like bottom of the basement pricing for everybody. I mean, it's not saying it's not doable, but you just, I don't know how good, I mean, you're not going to get an experienced team for that, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, drawing takes time. I mean, even the fastest artists only do, you know, a page of, and that's a full day. You know, a page or two a day, I guess, would be kind of quote unquote standard. You know, and it's not like, for a lot of guys, it's not like it's an 8 hours and you're out day. You know, it's a 10 or 12 hour day too. You know, or longer. That's why I like coloring. I get a lot of pages done in 10 hours. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this and you're interested in that new iPad, um, mine should be here Wednesday, and I want to do like unboxing and first impressions and all that stuff live with you guys. We'll do it all together, see how it goes. I think it's gonna be, I think I've got it scheduled for 8 Central, something like that. And I actually have, let's see if I can, we can test this now, actually. Where is my mouse? Let's see. There we go. I don't know what this is gonna look like. Let's see, let's studio mode. Let's see, that is not it. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, so if you, like my stress ball I've been playing with here. But yeah, I'll have this view set up and my face will, whoops, will be bigger. We'll do something like that. I don't know. I hadn't figured it all out yet. But I'll be having this shot for you guys, so we'll be able to see. I actually have, you can barely see it. Actually, you can't see it. The legs of this thing are, actually you can see it over here in this corner. I've got a tripod set up with a camera pointed straight down, And so yeah, I usually don't have that one on. But in the iPad courses, I kept this one on in the corner because there was so much of it was gesture related. so yeah, I used that. So you had a shot of me and a shot of my hands and then a shot of the screen and all that stuff. But yeah, awesome. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Thanks for coming, and we will. If you want to come back Wednesday, I'll see you then. Take care.